It's rather obvious. The Padres don't like the Dodgers. The Dodgers don't like the Padres.
We haven't forgotten.
It is gone, and a home run for Tatis.
Absolutely.
Mike Shildt is on the field. Padres are all fired up.
It brought us closer together.
The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series.
Now it's time to run it back.
Gone! And the Padres have gone San Diego.
30 clubs.
It's a triple play. It ends the ball game.
In 15 days.
Big-time players do big things in big moments.
Starts now.
Welcome, everyone, to 30 Clubs in 15 Days, presented by T-Mobile. We're coming to you from the Peoria Sports Complex as our desert journey continues throughout spring training. We're talking about the San Diego Padres, a team that won 93 games last year, made it to the postseason, an 11-win improvement from the previous season. It's Greg Amsinger with former Padre Yonder Alonso. I get to say that about you all the time. You play for so many teams.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad.
I think it's a great thing.
I'll take it with a good thing.
I think this is a San Diego Padre team that has A.J. Preller running the front office. He likes to make a ton of deals. But because there were question marks with ownership and they finally cleared that up, he really had his hands tied, couldn't make a lot of moves this offseason while he watched the Dodgers spend over $500 million. So what do you think the climate is right now in terms of the competitive edge after watching your biggest rival go big in terms of money in the offseason?
Well, look, this team is full of stars. That's number one. And I think sometimes the best moves that you make in the offseason is not a move at all. So they still feel like this team can compete, can get to a World Series, and could be very favorable. I think Mike Shildt, his second year here, is going to be tremendous for him. Look, I felt like the Padres, they won 90-plus games, and they didn't even play that great of baseball. I mean, just at the All-Star game, they were at 500. So they took off. I think this team's definitely going to take off the second year with Mike Shildt.
So you think that's the biggest storyline?
Absolutely.
Mike Shildt's second year. What do you think they're going to improve on from last year?
Well, I think they'll continue to have the put the ball in play. Their defense is going to get much better. I think that bullpen is very solid. And you're going to have a guy like Dylan Cease who's taking that next step. A full year here in San Diego and possibly be a Cy Young.
Yeah, it's a walk year. You know I believe in incentive. My biggest storyline is, I think, an overlooked storyline. Luis Ariz in search of his 4th consecutive batting title. Ladies and gentlemen, guys that get 4 in a row, they're Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
For Luis Ariz to pull that off would be monumental for the San Diego Padres. And may I remind you, when he came over, they became one of the best teams in baseball. Their strikeout percentage dipped. He went a month without striking out. He's incredibly valuable. Now, is he the face of the franchise? No, that is Manny Machado. And clearly you saw it in October. He is the leader of this team. Can he lead the troops into still believing they're as good as the Dodgers, though, after what they did this
You know, it's
offseason?
funny. I think so. I think this is a guy that understands who he is and the value he brings to a team. I also feel like he hasn't had a real full spring training since 2019. So I caught up with him. I asked him, hey, do you feel like not only yourself is as healthy as it gets, but also can you run the NL West? Here's what he had to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what we did last year as an organization, as a team, you know, a lot of people didn't expect that from us. And, you know, we overcame a lot of things, a lot of adversities, and built something pretty special here. And, you know, coming into the season, man, we got the same squad going out. Obviously, we're missing some pieces that left. But, you know, with the team that we got in there, man, we're ready to compete. We're ready to do, you know, handle the unfinished business that we have.
You know, you played 150-plus games last year. It's funny because you haven't had a full spring training in quite some time. And everybody thinks that just because you played 150 games last year, you were healthy. What was that like last year? And then obviously coming into spring training this year fully healthy.
Yeah, rehab, man. Like all last year was just straight rehab. You know, kind of not having your normal off-season routine of working out, bulking up, getting ready for a long season. I think the main part, you know, and you know this, it's you know, you want to bulk up in the off-season so that you could withstand those 150 games, 162 games. You know, because during the season there's a lot of ups and downs. So, you know, not having that last year was kind of tough. You know, battling through rehab, kind of, you know, ups and downs of pains here and there on the elbow. Couldn't really do a lot of things. So, you know, to have a good offseason this year, normal, kind of getting into a normal spring training and go out there, you know, be with the team on team fundamental stuff. It's been fun to do it, and I think, you know, it's always a special way when you have a healthy spring.
I look at this roster, a bunch of special players all around, but what's going to be the key to this year's team?
Biggest thing is, man, just keep playing as a team. You know, I think it's if we handle the baseball, we handle the team, team defense, team baseball like we did last year. You know, moving guys over. You know, I think the biggest key for us, I think offensively, I think we're gonna have a good year, right? We have Toddy come back healthy. Myself, Bogey's gonna have a big year. Jackson, obviously, we're gonna you know, lead with him as well. But I think defense is going to be the key for us. We, with our pitching staff, how we pitch, you know, use Petco to our advantage. You know, we clean up that defense and we become a top defensive team. I think, you know, that's going to take us a long way.
We're talking about the San Diego Padres, who really enjoyed one of the best rookie seasons that we've seen from their organization in recent memory. Young Jackson Merrill, who was a shortstop in the minor leagues, thrust into the starting center field position on opening day and became an elite defender. He eventually led the team in wins above replacement. He was also the most clutch hitter for this club. 7th inning or later, there was no one else better at the plate when the game was on the line. Jackson Merrill standing by with Yonder.
Jackson, take me through these moments after the 7th inning. You know, for yourself to be a rookie and going out there and being so comfortable, coming up with a huge hit, either a big hit, big double, or a big homer. Take me through that process in your head, what you're going through.
Just staying calm, knowing my ability, and just kind of using my power. You know, it's kind of just a lot of focusing as much as possible, and the results are the results.
You look at this team, and you know, a team that felt like you were a series away, you were a game away from getting to the World Series, right, or moving on to that next round. What is it about this team this year, or what's the message for the players?
The message to me is kind of just how we can do this with anybody. You know, we lost some people and we didn't really do too much, but I don't really think we needed to. I think we're good. You know, we got some grinders out here, some old vets that are really, really helping us out. So, you know, I got all faith in our team that we're going to be more capable of winning games this year.
They've always talked about how hard you work. What are those adjustments for this year coming into that second year?
Yeah, I mean, spring training's been a little slower, but at the same time, I get it. I'm going to be playing every day, and you know, that's what I want to do. I want to be there for 162 and beyond. All
right, well, we got these social questions. Everybody knew we were going to talk to you. From Nate B, who is the funniest player on your team?
Our team? Probably Crony, bro. He's just like, he's got these weird one-liners that just come out of nowhere, so I'd say Crony.
All right. Hey, I'm looking forward to watching you, man.
Thank
All
you.
the best of luck, huh?
Thank you.
Hey, Greg, who do you have?
Yonder, thanks. And with Fernando Tatis Jr., we just saw Yonder chatting with Jackson Merrill. What did you think of his rookie year?
Oh, amazing. I'm definitely happy for what he did. You know, coming in, changing position, and becoming one of the best players right away last year is, you know, amazing to see in front of your eyes, and really happy for him.
You're a terrific right fielder. At the beginning of the year, did you think to yourself, I need to help this kid out a little bit? How quickly did he catch on to playing center field?
Right away. It was something that was right away. Definitely he had it inside of him, and he didn't need that much help, you know. We talk a little bit out there, but, man, he definitely had it, and he was definitely a great center fielder. He is a great center fielder.
He's a fun kid to watch. I want to say something that a lot of fans in New York are going to like to hear. I think you know where I'm going with this. I felt like Padres-Dodgers was the actual World Series.
Yeah.
It was so intense. It was such an epic event to watch. What were your thoughts when it all came to an end, when you look back at how incredible that series was?
To the end, I mean, I was definitely heartbroken. That was the first thing, but you know, going back and seeing the review of all the series, man, it was just great baseball all the way around. You know, the environment, the emotions that everybody showed out there, it was definitely off the chart. And the game of baseball that was played in those moments, it was the highest level of games that I have been part of.
Well, look, you know I'm a huge fan of yours. I say that my favorite shortstop in baseball plays right field for the San Diego Padres. But you have a cannon of an arm, and I think you might have the best right field throwing arm I've ever seen. So you want to play a game with me?
Let's do it.
Let's look back at some of my favorite right field throwing arms of all time. I'm going to start with Dave Parker in the 1970s. The Cobra, newly elected into the Hall of Fame. I mean, in the 70s. I mean, Fernando, this is a cannon of an arm, is it not?
It was. I was 20 years before I was born, but yeah.
But Dave could throw it, man. He could throw it. All right, now, how about this one? Let's go to the 90s. Raul Mondesi with the Los Angeles Dodgers. This guy loved to throw the baseball, right?
Yeah, he was amazing. He was a great talent, a great, you know, it was great just to see him out there, and he definitely had a great arm.
An amazing arm. All right, I've got a couple other ones. My personal favorite people to forget about is Mark Whiten with the St. Louis Cardinals. I know your dad knows Mark Whiten. Hard-hitting Mark Whiten. He could throw it low on a line, which, as you know, you can do that.
Yeah.
Some right fielders can't keep the ball to where it can be cut off and still throw someone out at home plate, right? Yeah. There's an art to it.
Definitely art to it. And I mean, the rotation of the ball, the momentum that is going on, you know, being able to give a chance to your infield to make a decision and steal the ball, go through the infield and still make a play in the home plate is definitely a game changer.
Now, the one that I would compare you to the most, and I know he's not as tall as you, but Ichiro Suzuki also had a cannon. He moved like a middle infielder, which is obviously your agility as well and your athleticism.
Yes.
I just feel like Ichiro's the closest comp to you in right. He's had some amazing throws. What do you think of that comparison?
I'm flattered. I mean, Hall of Famer, what he did his entire career was amazing. And, you know, being compared to him is definitely a blessing. And now let's try to do it a little bit even better.
Did I miss anyone?
Yeah, shout out to Vladdy, and shout out to...
Vladdy Sr., yes.
Vladdy Sr., and shout out to Jeff Francoeur. My favorite was to see him pick him off the wall, and from there just going straight to every position where he wanted to go.
See, we're talking about a passion of ours, throwing a baseball from right field with Fernando Tatis Jr. But before I let you go, Fernando, we're getting social, so I've got a viewer who sent me a social media tweet. Tedford wants to know, how are you going to fill the missing pieces that you lost from last year? So let's just focus in on Jurix and Profar not being on the team anymore.
That's my friend. Definitely going to miss him. But, you know, now we got to keep going, keep moving forward. But we definitely have a great group in there. You know, we have the talent, and we're not afraid of coming out and doing it a bit better now.
Fernando, thank you, man. Have a great year, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Yonder, who are you with now?
Thanks, Greg. I'm here with Dylan Cease. We're going to do something a little bit different, though, right? I'm the hitter, but today we're talking pitching. I want you to take me through your checklist. I want you to take me through what happens in spring training. We know you're a velo guy. We know you're a spin guy. But in order for all those things to work, a checklist has to come in place, especially, you know, when you're taking that mound April 1st. So take me through the most important things you got to go through in between pitches for you on the mound to make sure you're executing.
Yeah, and honestly, it really starts, I mean, even months before this, with a throwing program, keeping the arm moving, all that. But for me, I mean, mechanically, I try to keep it pretty simple. You know, I think you've seen me do the core velocity belt. That's a big tool I use to get my lower half working, but it seems like every year the biggest thing I have to focus on is gaining length down the mound and going this way as opposed to just lifting and throwing early. And a lot of times the shape of the pitch and the sharpness and how it's coming out will tell me what needs to be refined and how it needs to be refined. So, you know, for like the first, it feels like 2 weeks of spring, I don't get a lot of consistency, meaning I'll go to throw a slider and I'll aim it down the middle, and one will break on the plate, one will go up and not do anything, and one will, you know, be almost more like a cutter. So a lot of times it's just fine tuning and seeing what the pitch is doing, and then making adjustments here and seeing what works. So
when you're making those adjustments, is it something that, hey, let me stand on this side of the mound, let me stand on that side of the mound, or
no,
where am I landing back down there?
No, for me it's more feel, and I think especially the longer you play and you do it, your mechanics kind of get ingrained into, you know, they become more second nature, and then it becomes more of refinement and then putting more power into it, you know, because that's another aspect of it where it's like your mechanics can be good, but if you're throwing a bullpen at 88, 90 and your slider's 82, that's not going to be how much power is behind it in the real game, so it's not going to be as sharp, you know, little things like that. So really in spring training, it's a lot of building your arm up, and then for sure refining mechanics, and that's a process that takes time. You know, you can't do it in a week.
Where do you stand on the mound?
I've been pretty much dead center.
Dead center. We see a lot of guys here. We see a lot of guys back there.
Yeah.
You're dead center.
Yeah, I'm pretty much dead center.
And you want to gain ground, say, somewhere in here?
Yeah, and I'm not worried. I'm not really worried about how far I get down or anything like that. It's more of what the pitch is doing and am I executing, you know? So it's and for every pitcher it's different, but I know when I'm going good, I just feel this little bit of, really it feels like my knee, groin, everything, I just get a little bit of ground gained. And yeah, I mean, It's getting down the mound, staying closed, and then seeing what the pitch does.
I'm going to have fun with you on this question because for me, I always like to, all right, my favorite home run was dead central.
Yeah.
Your favorite pitch executed perfectly that you can remember right now. Take me through that. Which one is
Off the top of my head?
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of sliders, obviously, I can think of, especially in 22 when I feel like I was putting my slider wherever I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's always satisfying to dot a fastball inside for strike 3. That comes to mind, but I'd have to go check the highlight reel out to tell you.
Greg, I'm telling you, man, we're going to see some sliders. We're going to see some fastballs, 4-seamers at the top of the zone. Nasty changeup. This guy is in for a hell of a season.
Maybe some new additions. We'll see.
We'll see.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
30 clubs in 15 days rolls on from the Peoria Sports Complex. We're talking about the San Diego Padres, a team that dramatically improved in one specific statistical category, strikeouts. They were the hardest team to strike out in all of baseball. Their first-year manager last year had a lot to do with that. It's time for our manager interview presented by Sage. Mike Shildt joins us now on 30 clubs in 15 days. Congrats on a terrific season last year. What did you learn from that first year at the helm here in San Diego?
I learned what a special group we have. You know, I knew it. I'd been with the organization for a couple of years in a couple of different roles. But until you get in that seat again, you don't really get the chance to interact on a daily basis. And I just appreciated and learned just how special a group of guys that we have here.
Take me through the shortstop situation. Having Bogarts there all year, is that going to be something you're going to want to have?
He's our shortstop. Been an elite shortstop in the league. Won 2 World Series as a shortstop over in Boston. Last year, you know, tremendous teammate. Looked up and realized, you know, we had Kimmy go and play, you know, elite defense, won a Gold Glove the year before, was willing to go over and play second base. Then Kimmy gets hurt at the end of the season. We have a decision to make, and we realized he wasn't going to come back. And Bogey, great teammate, goes back to shortstop, did a nice job into the season, and now he's our full-time shortstop.
Is it intimidating, Mike, to watch the Dodgers spend over $500 million this offseason to add to what was already a great team?
No.
Why not?
Because we only take care of what we can control. You know, we think about the Dodgers. You brought it up. You know, we respect it. We compete against them. We compete against everybody. We have 162 games there on the schedule. It's really about how we compete, how we play, and, you know, how we carry ourselves and how we take care of our business. And we do that, play the game the right way, regardless of opponent. We'll feel good about shaking hands a lot of the times. And I don't want to spend any mental energy on any other club. You know, we're going to respect them. We're going to prepare like heck for them. But as far as really thinking about what they're doing, I have no control over it. You know, clearly a well-run organization, World Series champions, and, you know, we'll look forward to the competition.
We've asked every manager we've been to camp, who's the one guy that you're highlighting that doesn't necessarily have to make the roster, but who's that guy that you go home at night and you're like, this guy was special?
Yeah, you know, we do a really good job partnering with our players to have a winning offseason. So we've really connected with the guys that we acquire. Jason Hayward, we get to know him, Connor Joe. But the guys that I haven't had as much opportunity to spend time with that I really am curious about and am enjoying getting to watch play and work with are Ethan Salas and Leo DeVries. And they're a little ways away, but they're getting here quickly.
Ethan Salas, 3rd spring training. He's 18 years old.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I was getting parking tickets. I couldn't parallel park when I was 18 years old, and this guy's doing this. It's crazy.
I failed my driver's license test.
Join the club. Mike Shildt, best of luck this year, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, for more on the Padres farm system, let's check in with our guru of prospects, Jim Callis. Jim, take it away.
Thanks, Greg. We'll take a quick look here at the Padres' top 5 prospects. This list is always in flux. A.J. Preller, not afraid to promote players to the big leagues, not afraid to trade them. So all 5 of these guys have joined the organization in the last 2 years. You have Leo DeVries and Ethan Salas, the top prospects in the previous 2 international classes. Humberto Cruz, another recent international signing. And a pair of lefties, Cash Mayfield and Boston Bateman, who were the team's top 2 picks last year. We will drop an entirely new Padres top 30 prospects list March 5th at MLB.com/pipeline. And right now I'm joined by Ethan Salas. Ethan, thanks for talking to us today. I wanted to talk to you. I mean, you've been on a kind of fast-forward course since you entered pro ball. You reached Double-A briefly at age 17. You were in High A last year at age 18. Do you feel like the game's starting to slow down for you? You came up and you met with Padres hitting coaches in July. They had you stand a little bit more upright, and it seemed like that got you going offensively.
Yeah, no, definitely getting more comfortable every year. A lot closer to all of my teammates now. Just getting the feel for the game, slowing the game down, and just growing as a player, both sides of the ball. I think it's very important.
How hard is it, especially as a young catcher, to separate the offense and the defense? Because if you go for 4, you can't let that affect you behind the plate.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a challenge for sure. Just trying to grow in that part of the game every single day. Trying to be the best teammate I can, and ultimately just trying to be the best leader behind the plate for my pitching staff. That's the ultimate goal. How can I make them as best as they can be that day to go out and win some games.
Last year, you were part of the first annual spring breakout. You guys are playing the Athletics this year on March 14th. What are you looking forward to with that game?
No, it should be fun. Get to go against the A's best prospects. They're best guys in the farm system. Should be fun and should be a good game.
Okay, well, thanks, Ethan. Back to you, Greg.
Predictions. This time just for the San Diego Padres. Either one of us going to say they win the West? No. What's your prediction there?
I think they get 90-plus wins. I think Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, they perform at MVP caliber seasons, and Luis Arias will lead the league in hits once again.
Wait a minute. Is he going to win a batting title?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. That's a big deal. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm with you. I think Luis Arias does win his 4th consecutive batting title. He hits .337. That's a very specific prediction there for you. I've got the Padres winning, once again, 93 games. But here's the caveat. They're going to be a playoff team, and yet they will still trade Dylan Cease at the deadline.
Wow. I don't see that.
Well, I do. That's why it's my prediction, Yonder. My prediction for the San Diego Padres. Well, that does it for this edition of 30 Clubs in 15 days. For Yonder Alonso, my name's Greg Amsinger. For more spring training coverage, log on to MLB.com.